Hi there, welcome to Heather's Hippo Yoga. I'm Heather, and today we're going to do a beginner yoga practice for low back pain or low back tightness, tension, strain. So let's get started. Come to a nice comfortable seat, and it's really important that when you have low back tension and tightness, sit on top of a pillow, sit on top of a folded up blanket. You want to elevate your hips so your knees are lower. That way it makes it easier on your lower back to sit in Sukhasana. So finding that easeful seat, sitting up nice and tall, allowing your hands to fully rest in your lap, and allow the full weight of your shoulders to just fall down your back. Close your eyes and tune into the breath. Bringing one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just notice the rise and fall of your belly and chest as you breathe. Feel the motion underneath the palms. Perhaps you can connect to the heartbeat underneath your hand. And let's really bring our focus on the breath right now. Let's try to take in as much oxygen as you possibly can by filling up the whole belly with air and blowing all of that air out. Fill up the whole belly and blow it out. And inhale, fill up the belly, the sides, the low back. Almost like you've got a balloon inside you that you are inflating and deflating as you breathe, and you're just simply trying to make it as big and as spacious as possible. And make sure that balloon not only includes your belly, sides, and low back, but it includes your chest, your ribs, your back, your shoulder blades. One big balloon. And after your next exhale, go ahead, release your hands into your lap, and go ahead, inhale the shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Nice exaggerated circles. Inhale forward, up. Exhale back and down. Really big shoulder circles. Inhale forward, up to your ears. Exhale, move them all the way back and down, sitting up even taller. And go ahead, drop your chin to your chest. Keep breathing here, in and out through that nose. Go ahead, start to make circles with your head. Super slow circles. Keep filling that belly up with air. And just take your time. No rush. Feel the stretch as you circle your neck. And let's go ahead, reverse directions. Really breathing deeply whenever you feel tension or tightness. And go ahead, bring that chin to the chest. Interlace your fingers behind your head and gently pull those elbows in towards one another. And now I want you to imagine that there's a balloon in between your shoulder blades. And as you inhale, your shoulder blades expand and get wider. And as you exhale, they contract and get closer. And relax the hands down. Bring that head up. Roll out those shoulders. Do whatever you need to do. Circle the wrists, open and close those fingers, wiggle them around, shake them out, shimmy. You know I love a good shimmy. All right, let's move into tabletop, okay? Remember, you can always put a blanket down as cushion underneath your knees. You're always welcome to do that. All righty. So, wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under those hips. Reach the crown of the head forward, reach that tailbone back, press through the hands and engage that navel, draw it in and up. Fully engaged here, just feel the strength of your shoulders and your wrists. And let's just start to isolate the hips and make small circles with the hips. Nothing else, just the pelvis is tilting. Right, this is a great way to kind of loosen up the hips. And as you'll see as we move through this practice, we're going to be doing a lot of psoas stretching, hip openers. Go ahead, reverse direction. Because if we have tightness in our hips, it can affect our low back. Right, so we want to stretch those, loosen those up. All right, come back to a neutral spine and move in and out of your cat and cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart to cow. Exhale, tuck that tailbone, chin to chest, press with the hands. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Moving at your own pace. Really use that breath. Take in as much air as you can and blow as much air as you can out. Perhaps finding any other motion that feels good for you right now. The more you tilt that pelvis and work it out, the easier it'll be on your back. And come into a cat. Tuck your toes, sit your hips back, keep your back arched, and breathe into that lower back. And maybe flip your wrists over, give them a little stretch. Switch sides. Excellent. Widen the knees and touch the toes, press back into child's pose. Release the heart, release the head. Breathe into the hips, right? See if you can soften and relax them. Breathe into the lower back. Oxygen isn't actually going there, but if you bring your attention there, we can open it up, create space, and soften. And walk those hands out in front of you and up and over to the left top hand corner for a little side stretch here. Breathe into the ribs. Feel the stretch. And walk those hands over to the top right hand corner. Breathe into the left ribs, that left side body. And come back to center and shift forward onto your belly. Adjust your boobs if you need to, and your flesh and belly. All right, hands are next to your chest, but there's no weight being put on them. Press into the tops of your feet. Really important, draw the navel in. And inhale, lift and lengthen. Reach the heart forward. It's more important to get lengthier than it is height and lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Go ahead, rest your forehead on your hands. Let those heels fall out, toes in. Relax the glute muscles and breathe into the lower back. Imagine that there is a balloon in your lower back. And every time you inhale, it gets bigger and it expands and it creates more space in your lower back. And then as you exhale, it contracts and softens and relaxes. Excellent. Go ahead, put your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, come up to tabletop, and press back into downward facing dog. Tailbone goes up, press through the hands, and send those heels down to the mat. Remember, it's more important that that booty goes up than those heels touching that mat. You want to feel the stretch up the whole back leg. Make sure there's space between your ears and your shoulders. Maybe walk the dog, bending one knee at a time, knowing that you can always take a little break. You can always go into child's pose if you need to. Let the head hang. Shake it yes, shake it no. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale, give me an audible sigh. And inhale, walk it up to the top of the mat. You can have nice wide legs here if you'd like. Bend those knees and really drape the torso over the legs. This is so great for your lower back because we're decompressing the spinal cord. So let the weight of the head and the shoulders decompress the spine and create some space and relief. Hands can always go to blocks. Just really bend those knees so it's like you're a rag doll or a puppet, right? You're a puppet master or puppeteer. Cut the strings from your back and you're just draped, hanging over here. And go ahead, use your hands, walk them up your legs to come up to stand nice and slow. And go ahead, willow tree it out. Whew. Just releasing any tension here in the spine. Little twists. Kind of let your hands flap around. And then let's shake out the booty, shake out the legs, shoulders, all that. Okay, so we're gonna do some work on your knees. So if you have sensitive knees, you're gonna wanna get a blanket, okay? And it's up to you how much cushion you want, right? If you wanna do 2 blankets, 3 blankets, go for it, it's all grand. You're gonna wanna put the blanket on about the last, the end half of your mat, okay? And come up to the top of your mat, grab your props, whatever you're using, have them by the top. Let's find our Tadasana. So, feet are rooted into the floor. Our tailbone is tucked under, our navel is drawn in, our chest is wide, palms face front, and we're engaging all 3 locks. That root lock. So engage those Kegel muscles, those bathroom muscles, draw them in and up into that navel lock, draw it all the way in, tuck your chin slightly. This is a super active pose and a really great reminder for how to stand during the day, right? If If we're not engaging our core when we're standing or when we're walking, it puts strain on that lower back, right? So using the navel to really support your back is going to help you. Breathing here into Tadasana, fully rooted into the ground, crown reaching up. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down to forward fold, bend those knees. Inhale to flat back. Hands can go to the shins or the knees. Reach the crown forward, reach that tailbone back. Draw that navel and let's support that lower back. And if you want, you can play with straightening those knees, feeling that stretch. Exhale, fold. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down to Tadasana. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale those arms out and up. Exhale, Tadasana, hands down, fully rooted. Last time, inhale those arms out and up, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, fold forward all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Reach the crown forward, reach that tailbone back. Exhale, fold. Inhale those arms out and up as high as you can. And exhale, bring those hands down to Tadasana. Close your eyes, breathe here for a moment. Feel how strong you are. Feel that core being engaged. Excellent. Inhale those arms out and up. And exhale, dive down, hands to your props. Now inhale, step that right foot back to a nice low lunge. Okay, reach that back heel. Keep the knee over the ankle, widen the shoulders. We don't want to be hunched over like this. So use those props to create a little space here and draw that navel in. Feel the stretch up that front right hip. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. We're just going to straighten that front leg a little bit for a little triangle. And you can keep a little bend here if this is too intense. Trying to feel that stretch of the back of that left leg. We're also working on our Achilles, the right heel there. We're stretching that. Inhale forward, low lunge. Exhale, back triangle. Inhale forward, low lunge. Lower the knee onto the floor. And now you're going to press into your feet and rise on up for Anjaneyasana. Okay, so knees over the ankle. We're sending our hips forward. We're pressing through our feet to engage our legs. Navel is drawn in, shoulders are wide. Hands can be on your knees, your hips, or maybe one on your prop. And draw that navel in, support that back. And breathe. We want to feel the stretch of the psoas muscles, that right hip here, okay? The way we can help that is by sending the left hips back and the right hips forward. We're trying to square them off. Breathe here. You can always ease off if it's a little too intense. And now leave your feet where they're at. Shift back. You're going to flex that front foot and straighten that leg. Okay? So make sure you're not sitting on your foot, but you're rather lifted up. We've got a nice straight leg here. You can keep a little bend if it's a little too tight for you. Flex those toes, send them towards your knee. Reach the crown forward and reach the tailbone back. I don't want you to be rounded, okay? If this is as far as you can go, great, do this. That's beautiful. If you can go a little bit further forward with that straight spine, go for it. We're feeling that stretch up the back leg. Don't forget to breathe. Don't hold your breath. It's hard to relax and soften when you're not taking in oxygen. Now we're going to shift back to Anjaneyasana and just swoop those arms up to a nice wide V. Press into the feet, square off those hips, lower the shoulders, Draw the navel in. Breathe. Now, lower your hands to the inside of your foot, and that left foot, you're going to heel toe it out to the edge of the mat. So I've got the left heel in, the left toe is out. Let me show you, just like that. And you can shift your props however you need. We're going to bring that hip forward, kind of sink into it for lizard. So the back leg is straight. That left leg is like a nice wide squat almost. And I like to rock back and forth in lizard here. This is really a deep hip stretch. And while you're here, see if you can lengthen through that spine. You don't want to be tense and tight and all rounded up. Lower the shoulders, lengthen, try to relax. Beautiful, okay. Heel toe that foot back to the center of the mat. Frame your foot with your hands, tuck your back toe, lift your knee, now step on up. Forward fold. Keep those knees bent. And inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale those arms out and up. Exhale, Tadasana, bring those hands down. Woo, and shake it out. That is a very deep stretch for the whole leg, right? Woo, shake it out. All right, let's do that opposite side. So find that Tadasana. Fully rooted, engage that navel. It's a life changer, friends. Breathe. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, dive down. Hands to your props. And inhale, step that left foot back. Keep the shoulders wide. Use those legs to support you here. Reach that back heel back, right? The further you step that foot back, the deeper the stretch. And inhale. Exhale, straighten that leg for triangle. Remembering you don't have to straighten it entirely. You just want to feel that stretch. And having these props, so helpful. You want to get that elevation. Now, if you don't have the props, you've got a booty or a belly like me, you try to reach the floor, it's really difficult to straighten your back. You see how I'm rounded here? But with the props, I'm able to lift, lengthen. I'm able to square off those hips. I mean the right hip back and the right hip forward. Sorry, right hip back, left hip forward. And feel that stretch. Inhale back forward to that low lunge. Lower the knee. Press into the feet. Rise on up. Anjaneyasana. I like to put my hand on the wall on this side. It helps balance me. But if you have a chair nearby, you can use that. Beautiful. Press into the feet. Send the right hip back, left hip forward. Navel is engaged. Shoulders are wide. We're sending those hips forward. Feel that stretch. Make sure that knee is over the ankle. Inhale. Exhale, shift back. Straighten that front leg. Bring your hands to the floor or the props. If you need to be up here, totally cool. Just send that tailbone back. Reach that crown forward. Breathe here. Keep breathing. Feel that stretch. It's so delicious. And then inhale forward back to Anjaneyasana. Swoop those arms up. Press into those feet. Square off those hips. Lower the shoulders. Draw the navel in. And go ahead, lower the hands to the inside of the foot. Heel toe it all the way out. You want to make room for your belly. And shift those hips forward. Feel that stretch. Ooh, so deep. Cut that left hip. This is going to help release that lower back. Try and lengthen through the spine. Breathe. And then go ahead, heel toe that foot back to the center of the mat. Frame your foot with your hands, tuck your back toe, lift your knee, step it on up. Forward fold. Remember, you can always widen these feet if you need more space. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale those arms up. And exhale, Tadasana. Bring those hands down. And shake it out. Ooh, shake those legs out, right? Do a little twerk, twerk, twerk. Anjanasana into half split is one of my absolute favorite sequences. I feel like it might be one of the best sequences to stretch your whole leg. I love it and it feels so good. All right, heels out, toes in, nice wide stance, and hinge forward at the waist. Slowly coming down to put your hands on the floor, or hands can go to your props if you like. It's totally up to you. And for now, put those hands underneath those shoulders. Send the crown forward and the tailbone back. And just shift your weight to the balls of your feet, to the heels, to the balls and the heels. Just feeling how that stretches. Really try to lengthen through that spine, right? We want that straight line from the heel of your foot all the way up to the tailbone. So send that booty up. Excellent. Okay, let's do some more spinal decompression. So let your torso just hang. Maybe grab your elbows. You can totally bend the knees. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. And stay here for a moment. It's really important that you let and allow the full weight of your head to just pull down, right? It's going to release that compression and that tightness and that strain and weight on the neck, the back. It really does work wonders, right? If you think about it, every day that we're walking, there's so much weight on our spine. So any chance we get to kind of just lengthen it and give it a little bit of a break, mwah, heaven. All right, go ahead, bend those knees. Use the hands to walk up your legs to come up to stand. Nice. Okay, let's come on down to the floor into child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching, sit those hips back. Reach the hands forward, chest and head relaxed, released. Breathe deeply, especially into that lower half of your body. And notice if this feels different. Are your hips a little looser? I don't know, what do you feel? Excellent, all right. Go ahead, use those hands, walk yourself up. And we're gonna move into pigeon. So if you need a blanket under your knee, you can do that. You can also use a blanket to kind of lift you up, and I'll show you how to do that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come into sort of an S sit. Okay, so we've got our left leg in front, our right leg behind. The left leg is closest to the top of the mat, and the right leg is closest to the bottom of the mat. And what we're going to do is we're just going to shift on top of that left leg with our right leg reaching back, okay? We're right on top of our knee, right on top of our hip here, okay? Let me just shift myself a little too far back. All right, so things you can do, you can put a blanket under this knee. You can also put this blanket kind of rolled up underneath your left hip, right? And I have my props here to kind of come into pigeon, right? This is single pigeon. If this is not comfortable for you, you can bring your hands down in front of you. And you just really want to sit on top of your hip, right? So we're trying not to sit back, but to be right on top of that knee, stretching that hip. And again, you can have cushion underneath your left cheek. if you need a little bit of support. And right now my left heel is in the right hip. If you can move your shin to be parallel with the mat, but you don't have to do that if it doesn't work for you. So find a comfortable position here in Pigeon. See what height works for you. Maybe you want to have your props a little higher. Maybe you don't want to have props at all. Maybe you want to release down onto your forearms. Whatever you do, remember, don't round that back. Try and lengthen it, okay? Really trying to sink into the hip. We're stretching that sciatic nerve, which can also help the lower back. Pigeon is really great for lower back release. Breathe here, try and soften. And go ahead and put those hands under the shoulders and gently roll back out of this. Woo. Put those feet out in front of you for a second, bounce those knees. Ooh, Pigeon is hard work, but it is so good for you. All right, come back into that S-sit. So now that right leg is closest to the front of the mat and the back leg is closest to the back. And just shift on over. You have to adjust yourself a little bit. It's all right. Remember, you can always put that blanket under the hip here for support. Go ahead, find the Pigeon that suits you. And breathe. I like to close my eyes in Pigeon so I can just focus on how the lower half of my body is feeling and if my upper body is tight. Try and soften it. And if you want to lower down to those forearms, you totally can. Breathe, lengthen. Don't forget to breathe, loves. It's a super deep stretch, and the more you do it, the more easier it'll get, the more easeful rather. You'll find better ways to make it work for you and to really be able to just soften. Okay, go ahead, put those hands underneath those shoulders and let's sit back. Woo. Reach those feet right out in front of you. Bounce those knees. Roll those ankles. Excellent. And let's come to sit down on our bum. Remember, use that elevation. It really is a wonderful tool. So I've got my blanket. She's folded up. Come to sit on your bum. Put the bottoms of your feet together in butterfly. Okay. And if you need to move your butt cheeks out of the way to make sure that you're on top of your sits bones, do that. All right, so you can stay here if this is enough, right? And just bounce your knees. But if you want a little deeper stretch and a little deeper hip release here, you can put your hands on your ankles, or you can do bunny ears around your big toes. Whatever you do, keep the chest wide. Just close your eyes and bounce those knees. Breathe. Go ahead, stop bouncing the knees. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, fold forward. Just let your head hang. Breathe into the spine, into the lower back. Feel the stretch. And just go as far forward as you can. It's okay if you can't touch your forehead to your feet. Back when I used to dance ages ago, decades ago, I was able to touch my forehead to my feet, but I'm a grown-ass woman. I can't do that anymore, and that's all right. Go ahead, walk those hands up. All right, so you're gonna wanna grab your blanket or a really big pillow. You're gonna put it kind of at the lower half of your mat. There we go. I forgot to get my really big pillow. Normally I have a nice big fat pillow, but this is what I have today. So I've got my meditation pillow, or just a pillow, whatever you have, 2 or 3 pillows. Now I'm gonna add my blanket, put it right on top, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit on top of this. So watch me crawl around for a minute. It's not the most graceful way of getting into this, but this is how I get into this pose. So, do. So your booty is on top of the pillow and your back is on the floor. And it's up to you how you want this height to be. Have your knees hip-width distance apart, arms resting, shoulders relaxed. And really this is like a supported bridge. And you've got this tilt in the pelvis, which is really beautiful. This is a little too high for me, so I think I'm going to actually just adjust a little bit. Oh, that's much better. So, shoulders resting on the floor, feet planted into the mat, knees facing up, close your eyes, and relax here. So we've got a little bit of elevation for our pelvis. It's tilting it up interiorly, I can never say that right, rotate it in to just release the lower back. Take a little tension off of it, release the butt cheeks. Just breathe here for a moment. Try and soften the face and just relax. And I don't know if you can hear the birds outside my window. They are so aggressively loud right now. Springtime, they're all Twitter pated. Bambi reference, if you didn't know what I was talking about. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh. And gently roll off your pillow. Don't want to hurt yourself. Move those blankets out of the way and come to lay flat down on your back. Ooh, draw those knees into your chest. You can widen the knees if you need to and put your hands behind the knees. Or you can hug the tops of them, whatever feels good for you. Point being, we want to massage our innards and let our lower back completely press into the earth and our shoulders to relax. So bring those knees to you. And this is called wind relieving pose. You know what I'm talking about. It's good for if you have gas and you need to get it out. Just go ahead, start rocking your knees just a little bit side to side to massage that lower back. Maybe make some circles. Reverse direction. Go ahead, open those arms out to a T or a cactus and let your knees drape over to the left. Keep your shoulders on the ground and turn your gaze to the right. Twists are really good for low back strain. Try to soften into the spinal twist. Go ahead, draw those knees back into your chest and let them drape over to the opposite side. Shoulders on the floor, gaze to the left. Soften the face muscles. Bring those knees back into your chest. Really relax those shoulders, relax the lower back. And go ahead and move into your Shavasana, right? Remembering you can always lay down flat on the floor, spread out like this, palms up. But I would highly recommend elevating the feet if you have low back pain, okay? So laying down on your back, you can either put your feet up on a chair, on a couch, or up the wall, or you could put pillows underneath your knees, okay? So I highly recommend elevating those feet. We want to release the lower back, make sure it's fully connected to the floor, especially if you have a big booty like me. Whenever you lay down on your back, you kind of like end up arcing your back. We don't want to do that. So find your Shavasana, laying down, getting nice and comfortable. Feet are elevated. And wherever you are, close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale, audible sigh. Ha. Do that again. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. Ha. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Soften your brows, your eyes, your cheeks and your jaw, your shoulders, your hands. Soften your lower back, your glute muscles, your thighs, your calves, your feet and your toes. And you're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you like. It's totally up to you. I hope this practice helped and that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and as always, share with friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.